It's not possible. I didn't say it would be easy, Neo.
Committee on Parole is called back to order. The time is 9:05. Our remote location is going to be at LCIW at Jetson. Would the staff at LCIW Jetson please introduce themselves? I think you're on mute, Warden.
Okay, this is Deputy Warden Morgan LeBlanc.
Tara PARDC Manager.
This is the offender, the first offender, and
Ivy
support.
Mathis, reentry specialist with VOTE, Voice of the Experience.
And we have Miss Deanna Haywood. Is that our first inmate?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Haywood, would you please give us your full name and DOC number?
Deanna Haywood, 316-245.
Thank you, Ms. Haywood. Ms. Haywood, let me explain our process to you. First, we're going to, I'm going to read some information into the record, and then we're going to conduct a parole interview with you. At the appropriate time, we will allow those persons who wish to have input to speak. You have a number of people here at headquarters in support. Those that will be speaking, Mr. Norris Henderson, Kenneth Williams, and Trey Williams. Also present but not speaking is Kentrell Williams, Beatrice Taylor, Carolyn Adams, Sabrina Monaco, Stephanie King, Christy Sheremy, and Demetrice Moore. In opposition, we have Marla Mayberry and Karen McClellan with the 14th JDC District Attorney's Office. Do you understand our process? Once we do that, you'll have an opportunity to say whatever you'd like to say to the board, and then we'll vote. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is the matter of Deanna M. Haywood, DOC number 316245. Date of birth is October the 27th of 1971. She's classified as a first felony offender. She has a parole eligibility date of August the 29th of 2023, an adjusted good time date of May 26th of 2040, full term date of November the 22nd of 2090. She was initially sentenced to life. Her sentence was commuted to 99 years by Governor Edwards. She is currently serving a 99-year sentence on the charge of first-degree murder. Is that information accurate, Ms. Haywood?
Yes, sir.
Haywood, your case has been assigned to, whose case is it? Okay. To Mr. Pete Freeman. Would you please answer Mr. Freeman's questions?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Hayward, how old are you?
52,
Okay, and how long have you served on this charge?
32 years,
What's your educational level?
12th grade.
Okay. So you graduated high school or you got a high set?
I graduated high school in 89.
Good, good. Okay, how old were you when you committed this offense?
19.
Wasn't Miss Lyles kind of a friend of yours? I mean, hadn't y'all kind of developed a relationship?
Yes, sir.
So walk me through this. Tell me why you would stab a friend who was trying to help you with a garage sale, and you also stole her credit card. What was going through your mind? What was happening?
Well, I really don't know about like my mindset because I wasn't there, meaning like mentally. But I had went to her house to pick up some clothes that she was donating for me. And when I went in there, I saw some things and I wanted them. And I didn't think that she would give them to me. So I knocked over the head. And I took some money and I stabbed her multiple times.
So, were you on drugs, alcohol?
No, sir.
So it's just that you wanted something, so you stabbed her.
Yes, sir.
And was she disabled?
Yes, sir.
How old was she at the time, approximately?
70, 74, 73, 70 something.
Okay. Um, what was going through your mind that led you to stab her over 36 times?
I don't know, sir. I wasn't myself that day. Confused.
Okay. Okay, you have opposition. Judge had no comment. The district attorney is opposed. He said you beat a 70-year-old woman to death for no reason. The sheriff is opposed. The chief of police is opposed. Unopposed is Kenneth Williams, your brother. Where are you going to live and work if you get out?
I will be transitioning to the Diamond House vote with Ivy Mathis and Mr. Norris Henderson. And I trust that they'll help me out in society.
Where are you going to go after that?
Sir,
Where are you going to live after you go through that?
with my brother, Kenneth Williams, and his wife, Tracy Williams.
And what do they have lined up for you? Any employment or anything?
Yes, sir.
And where's that going to be?
But for now, vote is gonna take care of that. I trust that they'll give me employment until I get out. So I'm praying that I trust in them that they'll give me a job. They'll find me a job while I'm there at the vote transitional house.
Okay. Her son, Dr. Lyles, Samuel Lyles, is totally against you getting out. He said he still has nightmares when he thinks about what his mother endured during the murder. He talks about how she was elderly and paralyzed, and how she was just trying to help you. Paula Bayberry also is against your getting released. How about your classes? It looks like you've taken a bunch of classes, correct?
Yes, sir.
Which one was one of the most important classes that you took?
I would have to say my trauma healing class.
Okay, why you like that one so much?
Because I had a chance to talk about things that I had never had a chance to talk about. And I was able to release it. Things that happened to me growing up that I never ever talked about. And it also taught me how to direct my emotions in another way.
Okay, what about, I see you took victim accountability. What did you learn from that?
That
What
is,
would you say to the victims if you had a chance to say something?
I would say I'm very remorseful. And I know there's no tears or no words that can change how I feel or how I've made them feel over the years.
Okay. You got a ton of write-ups. They stopped in 2014, but before that you had 157. What was leading to all these disciplinary issues?
At the time, I had came to jail. I wasn't trying to hear anything. I kept bumping into the wall. I had a hard head, but as you can see, sir, it softened up. I was going in the wrong direction and it didn't get me anywhere. So I turned my direction in a positive way. And I started attending classes and doing positive things, community service, hospice, prayer. I'm a prayer advisor. I'm in Toastmasters. I'm JC's. I've taken all kind of classes.
You have a low risk, a low needs. What was your write-up number 24 about? What did you do? Where were you at you wasn't supposed to be?
Unauthorized area. At the time, at the old LCIW, they had just put up the fences, and we had to go to is where the chapel was placed at. The lock on the gate wasn't closed, and we had went that way, and we wasn't supposed to. It was like a shortcut, and we had went through that gate.
You said you did community service. What kind of community service and clubs you belong to?
I'm currently a Toastmaster member. I'm currently a JC member. And for my community service, like right now, I'm in recreation and I provide for we about to have the Christmas extravaganza, Easter extravaganza. I do work for the canteen, like when the trucks come. Hospice, I was working in hospice. Prayer advisor, when the new commits come, I talk to them and let them know that if they have a problem with anybody, if they don't feel comfortable with the officer, that they can always come and talk with me and I will advise them to someone else.
So you have a lot of good recommendations. Do you have any mental health problems?
No, sir.
Warden, what do you have to say about Ms. Haywood?
Kind of to go over some of the stuff that was already mentioned. She did have a lot of write-ups, but she is 9 years report free, so that's commendable. She has been in all of these classes. Most of them have been, within the last 10 or 15 years. So she has made a turnaround. She's a minimum 3 here. She also has the low Lorna. And she's in all of these clubs, as well as she does the community service and helps us out with the kids events, the teen day events. She has been down for 32 years here at LCIW. So she has made a change here with the reports and being involved in the community here at the LCIW Jetson compound. We also have, I just wanted to mention that Ivy Mathis was here and she was gonna, wanting to speak on behalf of, Ms. Haywood.
All right, okay. Well, I got some questions. We have a question, Ms. Pearl has a question.
Good morning.
Good morning.
When I read in your information, you said that you have planned to, if you are released, you have planned to assist youth. Tell me about that. How you plan to assist youth?
Any ways possible, however they want me to. I love kids, and that's why I always participate with the Christmas extravaganza, the teen day, and the Easter extravaganza.
I'm just wondering, have you had anything lined out and you're thinking about what you would like to do, in a perfect world, if you got out and was able to help youth, whatever you thought about that you would do, what would that look like from your family?
I would love to tell my story to some of them and let them know how, when you're young, that like some people have addictions and it's like alcohol and drugs, but some don't really recognize the addiction of greed. Okay. And I would like to talk to them about that, because greed can lead you in the wrong direction, as well as drugs and alcohol. So I would like Ma'am,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you out, but
that's
I was
okay.
gonna ask, what age group are you thinking of giving your message to? Or age group would you think would be
Well,
appropriate?
I would like to start from 12 on up because this generation here, yes, ma'am. I would like to start young.
Yeah, I like that, I like that. And one of the things that really fascinated me about your case, but now you've explained it, because you were a sophomore at McNeese State University,
Yes,
majored in special education when you committed this crime.
yes, ma'am.
Speak to that.
That's what I wanted to do. I've always wanted to be a special education teacher. Always. Before I went to McNeese, I was working at Robbinswood School, and that's in Lake Charles. That's like a special aid needs, and it was just always my dream. I always wanted to. I've always wanted to work with people like that. That's why I worked in the infirmary for so many years as being a caregiver. But then it wasn't working out too well for me because too many of my close friends who I had been doing time with was passing away. So that's why I had left and went to recreation. But
Your tank got full, huh? Your tank just really got full over there. I understand that. Okay, I'm just trying to grapple, a college student, a sophomore in college, but you explained it though. It was greed.
But now I've learned that it's not always good to have, or I've learned to give instead of always wanting to receive.
Because you told Mr. Freeman that you saw something in our house that you wanted, and that
Yes,
is this grew up here. So
at the time I was selfish. Yes, ma'am. But now I'm not. I've learned to value life and people. Yes, ma'am.
Do you think this would ever happen again?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
One last question. Why should I vote to parole you?
Would it be okay if I have it? Would it be okay?
Okay, you'll do it at the end then. Okay, I'll wait and get the answer at the end. That's okay. Thank you. That's all I had, Chair.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, now we're gonna hear from, ma'am, would you like to go ahead and speak?
Yes, sir. Good morning, board. My name is Ivy Mathis. I am a reentry specialist with VOTE, Voice of the Experience. We are really happy to receive Ms. Haywood to ensure that she not only successfully acclimates, but have an impactful future. Ms. Haywood to date has been accepted and enrolled in the Cornerstone Builders Program, some programming with the Goodwill in the greater New Orleans area, as well as our transitional house where she will be having most of the mentoring being done there. Ms. Haywood told me that she wanted to transition because she wanted to start over. She wanted to learn everything, and she wanted someone who had been through what she had gone through or is going through to teach her everything she knows. And so at VOTE, she's going to learn that. December the 11th, 2018, I was released from LCIW. I've now been home 5 years. Since then, I have been able to come back in the institution approved by the Department of Correction and teach a 6-week reentry program called Life Support. Ms. Haywood is one of those graduates. We had a graduation and she's one of those graduates. She will be one of the first women that me as a formerly incarcerated person, who I'm doing well now, but will really be able to mentor and coach and get her on a more positive journey. Ms. Haywood has family support. This family support increases her chances of being successful because they want her to be successful and productive and not recidivize. They're also willing to support her financially. On the behalf of Ms. Haywood, I ask that she be paroled to VOTE Diamond House, where she has agreed to long-term reentry. That is up to 1 year and longer if need be, is when she's ready to actually exit and be independent, successfully independent. So she has agreed to long-term reentry, and that is every single day she's going to be mentored, she's going to be coached. And Ms. Wise, when I went to the board, one of my stipulations was work with the youth, and I have been doing that. And I'm planning to get Ms. Haywood involved as well. So this is a plan that we've had. We have measures in place where I'm confident to say she will never recidivize and that she will be a success story. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we'll hear from Mr. Henderson.
Good morning. Most of the time y'all see me, I'm here on behalf of a lot of the guys. And the reason I'm here today is primarily because we realize that a lot of these women are disadvantaged when they're being released, not having places to go. So we created a transition house, a 4-bedroom house, which Ivy named Diamond House, because we take what other people discard and polish it up and shine it up. Everybody who's been to our house, and it's in reference to employment, every last one of the ladies who left the house left with employment. You still have gainful employment. And our organization is kind of like help them transition with helping them get their first new place, helping buy furniture for the new place, and assisting them every step of the way. So I'm just here to kind of really support Ms. Haywood and Ivy, because Ivy is our reentry specialist. And, you know, I'm always taught that folks are closer to the problem or that much closer to the solution. Ivy had that lived experience, the same as Deanna. Ivy went in as a young kid herself. And so she knows what that transition looks like, what it takes for her to be successful. And we're here to support her. Ivy mentioned that we don't have a limitation on the amount of time they can stay. We don't want them to leave if they're ill prepared to be successful. And so if the board is willing to take a chance with Ms. Haywood, we're willing to keep her as long as the board mandate that she stays with us. We have all the other wraparound services already in place, just waiting for her to have this opportunity to be released and for us to be able to support her. And as y'all know, I have a staff of 30 people, and 22 of them are formerly incarcerated, male and female. And so we have the infrastructure in place to help her. One of the things she said, and I think she just didn't have the phrase for it, when she said greed. And I tell people all the time, people have their wants and their needs mixed up. Because like when you mentioned again, she was already in college. She had all of her needs. Her wants got in place and made her make the wrong decisions. I would just ask this board to really consider releasing Ms. Haywood to us. And I would assure you that when you see her again, she will be that diamond representing that house. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now we hear from Mr. Kenneth Williams. Good morning, Mr. Williams. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. This is one of the hardest things I'm doing today. And again, Deanna Haywood is my sister. And first of all, before I even get started, I want to tell the family that I'm truly sorry for what happened to their loved one. Because I've been through that. Me and Deanna don't have the same father. I did 21 years in the Marine Corps and active duty. I retired from the Marine Corps, and I don't want to take anything from our father, our stepfather that raised. He did the best he could, and my mother. So I always give them praise. And she knew right from wrong. Like she said, it was greed. And it goes back to what happened to me with my biological father. I never knew him. So I retired from the military when my stepfather passed away. I'm trying to be quick. He passed away. And my kids actually, we adopted. I have 4 kids. Been married for going on 34 years.
Get it right.
34 years.
That's it.
Right.
34 years. And I retired from the military, and I said, they asked me who was my biological father. So I met him, and I wanted to introduce them to him. I got to introduce him to him. Then I said, I'm going to spend time with him. And he was at an ATM machine, and somebody hit him in the head, and he died. So I never got to spend time with him. We buried him, but that the feeling, I guess it was, I had to let it go. And I'm not telling anybody how to live their life or what they need to do. That's in their time. So just saying, I understand. And I had to let it go. And that was right then. And I saw my sister, and I told her about where she was and how things were going. I said, in order for me to help you, you have to change everything. And she did. I've been retired almost going to 14 years. And that's what, and if you look at her record, after we had that conversation, after we talked, things changed. It didn't only change for her. I need to let you all know too. I imprisoned her myself too, because I couldn't fathom what she did. So I never let her see my kids. I never brought them around when I came into town. That sometimes I wouldn't even go see her, but I never brought them. And I had to change all that to heal, for me to heal. And we were always close, so I knew that hurted her, because it hurted me. But now, I need you to wrap it up. Okay, so I say all that with saying this. I'm here to support her financially and with whatever she needs. But we have a couple of things. We have businesses in Lake Charles. We give back to the community. Whatever the community needs, me and my wife and family, we do. We have a program where my wife created that is teaches disadvantaged kids on how to get their pilot's license. And they got to maintain GPA average, and it helps them go to college. I'm saying all this with, we have stuff in place for them to come back and talk to the community, not just the neighborhood we grew up in, but the whole city. And I know she's ready, because for me, my plate is heavy with parents and folks that we're taking care of. And she told me something. She said, Ken, if I'm able to come home, I got you. And some of those letters you have are letters from people that know me. And they know me, so they talk to my sister. So they in turn
we need to
wrote
really
letters.
wrap it up.
Okay,
You got 3 minutes and you go over 6, so.
Okay, they wrote letters for us, sir. And wherever she goes, we have somebody willing to help. And I thank you all for your time. And I'd like to thank you all for coming and supporting my sister. Thank you.
All right, now we'll hear from the opposition. We'll hear from Miss Marla Mayberry.
Hi, good morning. Can everyone hear me?
Good morning, Miss Mayberry. How are you?
So I've been better. My family was horribly affected by this crime. I didn't even know the name of the perpetrator until about 6 months ago, when the parole board reached out. And my family still stands vehemently opposed to her being released because of the brutal nature and rage involved in these crimes. I will say, though, that my husband and I are involved in prison ministry. And listening to the testimony, I listened to the one 6 months ago on YouTube, and just listening today, I do like that if she were released, that she would be released into a program that would support her being out. And I don't consider myself a deeply religious person, but I know Jesus, and he has forgiven me and calls me to forgive others. And I just want to say to Deanna, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I feel God's love for you. And the best thing I could hope for is for all of these things to be turned to good, because God allowed this incident in my family to happen. I recognize that. And I know that he can work good out of bad. And I know he can do it in my family. And I pray that he can do it in your life and in yours. But the results, are his. And I'm willing to release my opposition because I know who God is. And he's in control of all things. This is very hard. There's wounds that I've lived with every day since, and my family has. But I know God's ability to heal and to continue to heal. And so I pray for that for my family, but I pray that for you, Deanna. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Ms. Mayberry. We certainly appreciate your wisdom and the compassion that you've had here today and the courage that it takes for you to say those things. So thank you very much.
Right, thank you.
We'll now hear from Karen McClellan. Ms. McClellan. Ms. McClellan?
Good morning, Karen McClellan on behalf of the state. We're here in opposition. We weren't able to speak with Ms. Mayberry, but we have spoken with other members of the family who are vehemently opposed, as she mentioned. I think the fact of the case is that Ms. Lyles was an elderly woman who was partially paralyzed. She befriended Ms. Haywood. She, let her into her home. She trusted her with items she donated to her. And in repayment, she was stabbed and brutally murdered in her own home. And I think that is just, it brings into question when someone says that they don't have a drug problem, they didn't have an alcohol problem, no mental health history. Why would you brutally do that to someone who was actually helping you? And that is the biggest question that needs to be answered. And I just don't feel that there will ever be an answer. I understand that, she stands, that she says that it was an issue, an addiction to greed. I don't know how to treat greed. I don't know how do you treat greed? Judge Marabella, you were a drug court professional, drug court for many years. There are NA programs, there are AA programs, there are Celebrate Recovery. How do you treat greed? How do people of Calcasieu know that when she's released, that we won't have an issue of greed again? This was rage. The knife was left inside the body. It boggles the mind to say, I don't know why I did it. I didn't have any outstanding problems. And apparently there was some traumatic things that she's now worked through. And I'm grateful for that. But at the same time, we have a family that's terrified and for what? This was a person who looked out for you. This was a person who gave to you. And this was the repayment. And so for that reason, the family is extremely opposed to any relief, and we ask that you deny her parole request.
Thank you very much, Mr. McClellan. Ms. Haywood, is there anything you'd like to say to the board before we vote?
Yes, sir. I would like to first thank all the board members for allowing me to sit here today, and I also would like to thank my brother Kenneth and his wife Tracy for sticking by my side all these years. I have something else, but I just want to just thank y'all, the board, and I just pray that y'all look at me for the person I am today and not the person I was when I was 19. That's it.
Thank you very much, Ms. Board. Ready to vote?
Well, I had asked you why I should vote for you. You said you was gonna tell me. Is that all you wanted to tell me?
I had a whole list, Miss Wise, but a whole sheet of paper. But
All right. I just wanted to be sure.
I can read it. I have been incarcerated over 32 years, and at the start of my incarceration, I was disobedient and defiant. But over the years, with support and guidance and determination, I was able to turn my life around, get in classes, help others, and give back to my community. Even though sometimes it was difficult, I refused to look back and fail, but not just fail myself, but the few people that believed in me. When others pushed me away, I turned their back. In November 1990, I made the biggest mistake, and it affected my life and the ones around me and Miss Lyle's family and her friends. I chose the wrong path, but with prayer and classes that I've taken out, that's not an option anymore.
Thank you. Thank you. That answers my question. That's all I had, Chairman.
Thank you. Ms. Haywood, is there, well, we've already spoken. Board ready to vote?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Haywood, this is a very trying event for me. I mean, you were 19 years old when it happened. You've done wonderful in prison, but I mean, the lady was disabled and she was there just trying to help you when this crime was committed. You know, the warden speaks highly of you. You've done a lot of community service, took a lot of classes. You have a ton of outside support with your family and friends. The victim, I really appreciate you coming forward and giving us the information you gave us. It was heartfelt and it made a difference in my decision. So today I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to grant, but I'm going to put some pretty serious conditions on you. I want you to have a curfew of 10 to 6. I want you not to be able to leave that center that you are going to without the permission of your parole officer. So I want the people that are working with her to keep in close touch with the parole officer. If we're having any problems whatsoever, I want the board to know about it. And I want you to talk at youth risk. And I hardly ever offer that, but you were 19. You know, you're given a second chance, which is a big one to give with the nature of the offense. So that's my vote today.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Ms. Wise?
Ms. Haywood, this was a horrible crime. We, as a part of this board, that's what we look at. You did a great harm. You've healed, and now you're helping others. We can't expect anything. I cannot expect anything else from any human being, and you've done that. So my vote is to grant as well, and I concur with the special conditions set forth. With one added condition, I would like for you to do a research paper on greed, and get that lined out. And then when you start making presentations, as Mr. Freeman said, to youth, you go ahead and have that information. Go and start doing that research on greed, and it's gonna lead to other factors, and go ahead and write it out. So you can give these, because this young generation now, they need facts. They need to know that you know what you're talking about. More than a feeling, you need the information. And then you can also, you know, because of course you're gonna tell them what it led to if it's not controlled. Best wishes to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Wise. Ms. Haywood, I echo everything that my colleagues have said. The crime itself is senseless. We see a lot of horrible crimes here. This is, this lady was stabbed horribly. Mr. Freeman asked you about your mental health. I was very concerned about that. I guess sometimes there's no real explanation for why horrible crimes are committed. In looking at your whole body of work, and that's what we're supposed to do. It looks like you came into prison with a lot of issues. You got in a lot of trouble. You had a lot of write-ups. But at some point, you turned it around. And I thought you did an excellent job with your interview today. I thought you were very honest with us. You've done a lot of hard work while you've been in prison. I echo my colleagues. I'm willing to give you a chance. I will likewise would be to grant all of the reasons as outlined already, and with the conditions as outlined by both Mr. Freeman and Ms. Wise. So good luck to you.
Thank you. Would it be okay if I tell y'all Merry Christmas?
Yeah. Merry Christmas.